My perspective to be a woman of virtue is just to be a honest and one
Mhm.
who use integrity, doing what's right even when
Yeah.
no one's watching. The word virtue itself
Yes.
means like you got a higher standard or morals. You don't want to take less, you don't want to give less.
Mhm.
So that's what I would consider a woman of virtue, one who's, you know, um the best way I could describe it is uh, my grandmother's potato salad.
Kingdom first, that's my desire. My desire. Not fleeting love or earthly fire. I'm single, but I'm never alone. With you, Lord, I found my home. My home, my home. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the SKM podcast, the single and kingdom minded. I'm your host, Erica Zephir. I am so excited for this topic on today about the woman, the virtuous woman. I'm excited. Today, we have an amazing guest with us, a powerful woman. I would say a true example of Proverb 31. So everyone, please welcome Lady Sheffield.
Hello, hello, everyone.
Hi. Yes. For anyone who's watching, if this is your first time, please go ahead and subscribe. Here we do inspire people to equip you in your singleness. Whatever question you may have, ask them. And hey, this is why it's the Ask 'em podcast.
Yeah.
Ask the questions. And so the people will answer. So, First Lady, why don't you tell us a little bit about you?
Well, my name is Lady Sheffield, Tarshell Sheffield. I've been in Church of God the Bible Way since I was about 16 years old. My
Okay.
pastor right now is Apostle C.A. Coward. I kind of came to the church by bet or kind of pushed my way in. I was a little bully and someone invited my best friend. So I was standing right there when they said, "You want to come to revival?" So I'm waiting for them to ask me, "Do I want to come?" And they didn't ask me. And so I was like, "Well, I'm coming too." So I was a little bully. And when I bullied my way
Yeah.
there, and then I
Oh my
went,
goodness.
and my life has never been the same since. So that's
Wow.
how I got to my way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Oh, that's great. That honestly, that is a great testimony.
Yeah.
It should definitely help some young people. Don't
Mhm.
wait for other people. Just show up.
Yeah.
Just show up. Wow. So, First Lady, as we start with our conversation today,
Mhm.
in your in from your perspective, I feel like in today's world, the definition of womanhood, it just keeps changing. So from your perspective, what does it mean to truly be a woman of virtue?
My perspective to be a woman of virtue is just to be a honest and one who use integrity, doing what's right even when no
Yeah.
one's watching. The word virtue itself
Yeah.
means like you got a higher standard or morals. You don't want to take less, you don't want to give less. So that's what I would consider a woman of virtue, one who's, the best way I could describe it is my grandmother's potato salad. She just didn't make potato salad. She made it homemade and she would slice the eggs up on top and put a little greenery on there. And she would put it in a nice
See?
dish. And it was just you knew that was grandma potato salad. She didn't go to Publix
Right.
and scoop it out and put it in another bowl, but grandma slaved over that potato salad, put a little paprika on top. You knew it was homemade. So that's what I
Okay.
consider, a woman of virtue. Just not just her, but her, above.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Do you believe that a woman can be born a woman of virtue, or is that something that you have to, kind of develop, or somebody got to teach you? Like, how do you think a woman can become a woman of virtue?
I think it's definitely taught.
Okay.
Just my life
Yeah.
itself. My mom was she wasn't in the church, but she had some high standards for her girls. I was the first child. And she taught me, not to give up the goodies. It was golden. It was something that, nobody should
Yeah. Yeah.
different. And then when I got into church,
Mhm.
I had church mothers to teach me to find out that a woman
Right.
should be, you always hear the seen and not heard, but also how just her life
Right.
displays way about it. So you can be definitely trained, taught, led by example. I had great examples, Mother
Mhm.
Myers, Lady Coward.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
just
yeah.
had some awesome examples. My own mom, again, she wasn't in church, but she was the one that taught me that my body belongs to me and I shouldn't give it away until I get married. So yes,
Right,
ma'am.
right. It's very important that our young, very, very young
Mhm.
ladies start learning those things. A lot of our children, they're ending up in foster
Yes,
care. They're ending up, in so many different places where they're not getting what they
right,
need as they grow
right.
up. They don't hear these kind of
Mhm.
teachings. So does being a virtuous woman, like, does it look different for a single woman versus a married woman?
Well, actually, I would say it goes hand in hand. Even when you're married,
Okay.
you have to be virtuous. When you're single, that's how you get married if you're virtuous. I mean, of course, you could take the first thing that comes by, but if you want to wait for the best and get what you deserve, you got to be virtuous.
Yeah, yeah,
Just the
yeah.
way you live, the way your work ethics, the way you attend church, the way you dress. I always tell the young people, you're advertising yourself. And what are you advertising? Are you advertising to be a thought? Are you
Yeah.
advertising to be a hottie?
Woo!
Are you advertising to be classy and sassy, but yet holy? What are you saying?
Yeah.
When people meet you, what are you advertising? What are you presenting?
Wow.
So that's, single
Yeah.
or married, that virtuous got to be there. And most you get caught by being virtuous. That's something I never forget. Mother Myers told me, she would tell me that I'm different. And I would look around at my friends. I'm like, we laugh the same, we dress the same. I didn't see what she was saying, but there was something that I would stay out of men's faces. I would make sure that, I wasn't too loud. So there was a difference between me and my friends. And she would tell me, and one thing I love to tell the young ladies, we dress to conceal and not reveal. Because if people can see what they're getting, you know, there's no surprise effect. If people know what they're getting already.
Yeah.
But if you make a person work for you, if you make them want to
Mhm.
get to know you, then that's virtuous. They're
Right.
it's like they're unwrapping a package. They're seeing, well, wow, she's
Mhm.
nice. I like the way she carry herself. She's respectful. So that's virtuous.
Right.
So when you get married, you just keep the same flow. And one thing I'll let you
So
continue to talk. One thing I wanted to say was I was married for
no, you good.
I was married for 28 years, 11 months, and 7 days. And one thing that I pride myself on seriously, when my husband came home,
Mhm.
from being around the brothers or going on trips or the pastor's retreat, he never shared information with
Yeah.
me, but he would always come home and would be so thankful that I was his wife. And, he was like, a lot of the men shared
Woo.
things, honey. He said, but I didn't have nothing to say.
Mhm.
He said, he said, my wife, she's there
Wow.
with me. My wife supports, and I just always thank God for that. So being virtuous will
Wow.
take you a long way. It'll take you a long way.
Mm.
Yes. Yes. It should be something that makes the person look and say it's something about her. It should be a difference even in your speaking and your voice volume and the way that you carry yourself. There should be something. So as young ladies, I encourage you to be virtuous. You know.
Yeah. In the church, so what advice do you have for, like, maybe a single woman that may feel overlooked or feel unseen?
Honestly, I would tell you to keep being yourself. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't
Mhm.
try to be seen because the ones that
Right.
don't try to be seen, they get the best
Mm.
catch and you become the best catch.
Okay.
I'll never forget,
Yeah.
and I keep talking about her, but she was a blessing to me.
No?
Mother Myers. We were at dinner at Denny's, and she just was telling me she got the salt and the pepper, and she was like, "The men is the salt, and you're the pepper." And she was like, "If you look at the salt, you turn it upside down, and it just runs out." She was like, "This is how some young ladies are." She said, "But with the pepper, you turn it upside down, you get a spurt, and if you want more, you have to shake it." She was like, "But what I want you to do is just sit on the table and be the pepper." She said, "You ain't got to turn nothing upside down and shake it out." She said, "You ain't got to put on no bowls. You ain't got to put on no lace. Just sit on the
Yes.
table." She said,
Yeah.
"Because salt goes with pepper. And sooner or later,
Yeah.
the salt coming to get the pepper."
It's gonna catch up. Okay.
So that worked for
Okay.
me.
My goodness.
It worked
Yeah.
for me.
My goodness.
Yes.
My goodness. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Just sit on the table.
That's
'Cause
it.
sooner or later, Pepper,
You go.
when they teach, table etiquette
Mhm.
class, they always say, hey, look, when you if someone asks for the salt or for the pepper, they both
Go
go
both.
together.
Yes. Correct.
If they ask for the salt, you don't just hand them the
Right.
salt.
You just automatically give
You
them
need to
both.
hand them both.
Yes. So sooner or later, young lady, you just keep sitting on the table. You go get it. They coming for you because they want both.
My goodness.
And I know,
Wow.
I know sometimes you can feel overlooked. You can feel like nobody's watching me, but
Yeah.
they're watching. They just haven't said nothing yet. And when people are ready to do right or to live right or to settle down, they're going to come to that one. And all the ones they've been talking to, that's going to be over because they saw something different in you.
Yeah.
So just sit
Yeah.
on the table.
Sit on the
Salt
table. Wait
coming.
on that pepper. Oh man. Oh Lord. Oh, that was good. So when we talk about like the virtuous woman,
Mm.
how important is it that the woman has a personal relationship with God as they develop, virtue?
Actually,
How
God
important?
should be right there. Um, I always tell people I kept my mouth shut because I learned
Mhm.
what the word said. The Bible told us to have a meek and a quiet spirit. I was
Mhm.
able to be a wife and stay at home because I learned the scriptures that said my feet should abide in my own house and obey my
Yes.
own husband. So scripture and relationship with God is very important.
Mhm.
Some people try to leave it out, but that's how you get noticed. God showing in you, that light, that brightness. The difference come with God. We can have on the same outfit, we can have the same hairstyle, but if
That's
I'm in
true. That's
prayer
true.
and you not praying, something's gonna show on me that's not gonna show on you. My whole attitude gonna be different
Wow.
because I've been in prayer with God. The way I carry
Hey.
myself gonna be different because I've been in prayer with God. So your relationship with God is very important. And you just ask yourself, if you don't want to obey God, you ain't gonna obey no man. If you don't want to obey the word, you're
Come
not gonna
on.
obey your
Come
husband
on.
because it walks hand
Scripture is
in hand.
straightforward.
People like, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. But you ain't even doing what God said. He said, if you love me, keep my commandments. So we have to make
So
sure
true.
that we're in that place with God as well, because it's very important. And I tell young
Wow.
ladies, when you're getting ready to get married or you think you're ready, sometimes we have a fantasy land.
Yeah.
Sometimes, that we want the romance and this and that.
All
But
right, now don't be talking about my list.
okay, it's okay to have it on the list. But I'm just saying, make sure you're in obedience with
Yeah.
God, because I'm telling you, after you've been romanced and all this good stuff, and you married, and your husband say no when you want to go to the stove, you're gonna need that word. keep your mouth shut. You know, your money is your money, but he's telling you
Because he
we're not
probably
gonna
can see
spend
something
nothing.
that you can't see.
Right. So he,
Right.
you know, he could see a little further. Or he might just say, you know, not this week. Let's wait. You gotta have that self-control. You gotta have that obedience.
True.
You know,
That's
submission
true.
is just you allowing your husband to rule over you. There is no manual as far as a button that you could push and say, I'm gonna be submissive. No, that comes through the word of God. That comes from the love of God. I tell
What
some young
about I'm
ladies,
gonna be submissive to this?
right,
I'm gonna be submissive to this, not that.
right. It don't work like that. You can't pick and choose. Oh, I love him. That's my boo today. And then tomorrow he say no. And be like, I don't know who he think he is. That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. That's
Oh
not gonna
my
work.
God. Oh my
That's not gonna
goodness.
work.
Wow. Wow. And in those seasons, like are there like some specific scriptures or maybe just some disciplines that like a woman can practice to even help with that? Talk about someone who's not used to being submissive. And you know, before we can say, well, you shouldn't have gotten married or don't get married and you're not ready. I think a lot of times they don't, you know, some women may not know what they need to be doing to even get ready. Like, are there some scriptures, some discipline, things like that, like a woman can do to even be in that mindset, be ready for that?
It all deals with marriage. When you get a relationship with God, when you learning, you know, the scripture tells the older women to teach the younger women. Pattern. Find yourself a good example. Watch those that are married, you know. I say both.
Yeah.
Yeah, we in that fantasy land. You know, right here. If I want to walk, oh, I just want to sit up. You know, I can Netflix and chill and not be in sin. You know, you have all this stuff in your mind, and you
Yeah.
good until he tell you no. He tell you we're not doing it like that.
Mm.
So you do have to practice now, and you take your relationship with God. We don't get yes all the time.
Wow. You're not gonna get a yes. You're not gonna get a yes all the time. Yes, yes. I'm thinking about my relationship with the Lord. Cause sometimes the Lord be like, show be like, but Jesus.
And you sleep, and I mean you good, and then all of a sudden you wake out of your sleep, and you're like, why am I not sleeping?
Get up and pray.
Every time you're not gonna want to be touched. Every time you're not gonna want to wake up. He might wake up.
Not a steak in the middle of the night, Sister Sheffield. I don't know about all that now. Hold on. What time we're talking about? Wait.
I'm just saying, you don't know. You don't know.
They have these TikToks going around where shout based on the type of man that you would marry. And so they would call out their names. Of course, when they call out any pastor or any minister, you know, nobody want to do it. They don't want to shout. But they'll be like, what about the drummer? You know, they might shout. What about the sound man, the cameraman? They would shout. Somebody that just take the offering, they're like, yep, I would shout. But at the end of the day, like you said, you can't hide. But you know what? I'm gonna try to hide as much as possible. Cause Lord, I tell you.
You sit down.
All right, now, Sister Sheffield, now you done got my blood pressure up. You got my blood pressure up because now when I'm thinking, okay, well, they just use him to collect the offering. And when I'm thinking that's all this man about to be doing at this church, you telling me, Lord, we might get the call. Jesus.
You just never know.
All right. My blood. Sister Sheffield, you just don't know. My heart is like racing right now. I'm just like, oh, God.
You never know. You never know.
I'm trying not to sign up.
That's what some of the young ladies talk about. Well, I ain't signing up for that, but you never know. Never know.
You know, Lady Philistine, she said one time, she was like, as long as that man got the Holy Ghost.
Right, right. Because you do want that.
She said
you
if
don't
he
want
got
none
the
of the other
Holy
kind of
Ghost,
surprises.
he could be next. So I was like, oh Lord. Oh goodness. Wow.
Yeah,
And
you never know.
it's crazy, being in the church. We always say what we want and what we don't want, things like that. Because at the end of the day, I don't really want to put stuff out there in the atmosphere, because it's all in the power of the tongue. Because whatever
Yes,
God
sir.
has, that's what it is. Whatever God
Yes.
has, that's what it is. You know, but but yeah. So I know in the church, we deal with a lot of stuff. Even thinking about the idea of wanting to even be with anybody that might turn into that might become a pastor someday or something like that, or that might have some type of a position in the church. There are a lot of women like who struggle with comparison. There's the idea, oh, I have to try to be perfect because I have to fit into this bubble. I have to fit into this role. Have you ever faced, anything like that, and how did you overcome it?
Well, yes, man. And what I would say is be true to who you are and be yourself. The comparison is gonna come. I'll never forget
Mm.
one time Elder Sheffield told me we was very young married, and he told me, he said, Sister Coward, what you say?
What you said to me?
So I said, he said, Sister Coward says, sir, good sir. When Sister Coward first came in this church, she was not Lady Coward. I said, she grew into Lady Coward. I said, so I need time to grow into who I should be.
Right.
You went from a sound man to a minister to now a pastor.
In 2 days.
So
I'm just
Proverbs 31 woman is good. It's a roadmap. But
I like that roadmap.
It's just something for us to glean off of. Because
Okay.
I always say I wasn't trying to be a virtuous woman. I was trying to be a Sheffield's woman. I was trying to be his wife.
Wow.
We had a situation in the church one time where the wife got out of order. And she was sat down, and she came to me, which I was shocked because I'm younger than her. And she was like, "She what you gonna do? Look at her the same." And I told her the best thing I could tell you is, don't worry about being no first lady. Don't worry about being no mother. Be your husband's wife. And I said, God will bring you back up again. Yes. And to this day, she has been restored. She's operating as the first lady. She's operating in the church, but she had to win her husband's trust. The scripture said that her husband should safely trust in her.
Yes.
And if your husband don't trust you, it's not going to mean anything.
Oh.
I often tell married women and even single women, Delilah was out of order. She was wrong. But Delilah had a key because Samson trusted in her.
Yes.
He trusted in her so much that the Bible says he laid his head on her knee. He was very comfortable with her.
Safe place, yeah.
Now she did wrong.
Yeah.
And told his secret. But for a man to be that comfortable with his wife,
yeah,
that maybe he going through and he lay his head on her knees and share, that's powerful.
Wow. Wow.
So I tell people we can learn from Delilah. Don't do what you did, but we can learn from her.
Wow. Wow. Trust is very important. Thinking about virtuous women, I want to think about virtuous women in the community, like outside of church, in the community, in the business world. How can a virtuous woman impact her community or her workplace? Just by doing above and beyond. I know where I get it from. I don't, just if you see a problem, don't take over. Don't have a takeover spirit. But, if you see a problem and you know you can help, can you help? Yeah. We were at the Lit conference a week ago, and there were 2 funerals. So I just said, purpose in my heart, that I would come back and sing at both of them and serve. And Apostle was like, he didn't know how he was going to do it, but he was thankful that I was willing because, think about a big house, we, relaxing and in training. But I made the choice to help out, and it will pay off. My husband used to tell me all the time, he said, girl, you blessed because you keep giving to other people. So go find out where there's a need. If it's in your local church, if it's at the Boys and Girls Club, if it's at the YMCA, if it's at a local school. I'm not going to tell you how many times at Walmart I have brought children back to them
because they roamed away or they was gonna knock down a rack of clothes, and I'm like, hey, don't do that. Go get your mom. Go get your dad. So just being available and serving, and that helps you to be virtuous in your community, on your job, in your church, with your family.
Yeah.
Being available.
Yeah. I like that. Being available. So many times when we get saved, we're so focused on I have to do this, I have to do that. And we let go of the people that we've always known, the friends, the family. And now instead of them seeing us as like saved people who are always doing things for the Lord, they seeing us as a bad person now because you have no time for them and things like that. So you're right, finding that need and being helpful, being helpful. I think it took me a minute. It took me a minute, honestly, to realize that, like I said earlier, we get saved and then we just like, I'm all about Jesus. But Jesus was a people person, you know? Right. Jesus was a people person. So we have to do the same. And when I finally realized that, of course, I mean, people are going to have their opinions about whatever it may be, but I'm just glad that, when I realized that, I'm like, oh, okay, let me show up. Let me be there for these people, especially the people who have always been there for you. And
Even your family.
yes.
A lot of times
Yes.
we like, oh, I ain't going to that.
Yeah.
He taught me when the family gatherings came, we
Mm-hmm.
went. But
Yes.
I watched his cue.
Yes.
We also left. He would tell me, he said, when you see them red solo cups come out, girl, and then my family be lost.
Come on, being that example. Exactly. I agree. Showing up is important. Right. I definitely have been working on that in the past years because I've been hearing the comments, girl, you ain't never used to come around here. Goodness. Right. I'm like, man, it was noticeable. Yeah, it's noticeable. So yeah. So, what role does a mentorship play in the journey of becoming a virtuous woman?
If you need one, yes, it's important. If you're not understanding, because it's all about your upbringing. Like I said, I was kind of blessed, even though my mom wasn't in the church. She had strong values and morals, and she knew what she wanted me to do. She knew, she was training me. I couldn't stay the night at people's house, even family members. I told my mom, even though she wasn't saved, it was like God like gave her something just for me. And matter of fact, it was just for me. My other sisters and brothers, they went to stay the night. They got to go to parties. I done none of that. My mom got like so lenient, seemed like after me. But sometimes you do need a person to look up to. You do need a person to show you the way. Reading the Bible is important. Books, to elevate your mind. I work with young people, so I'm always looking for games. I'm always looking for ideas. I'm always going to services, where they're ministering to young people because I'm trying to educate myself. I'm trying to build myself up, in that field. So when you are trying to be virtuous, you want good examples. You want to have people in your life that's going to pour into you so that you can pour into others. So it is important.
Let's say in the church looking for that spiritual mentor. Is there something specific somebody should look for?
Yes and no. I mean, you want to look for someone who's actually doing what you're trying to do. But I always tell people, keep in mind, you're not trying to be them. You're just gleaning from them and you're going to take whatever you can and use it to make you better. But you're not trying to be them. And then no,
Okay.
because sometimes the least person who you wouldn't look at, that would be the person who can take you further than you need to. I've had people who I was like, oh, I got to get with them. I got to get with them. I got to get with them. But in fact, they were just too busy. They didn't have time to adequately, pour into me. I was let down sometimes because they were so busy. So sometimes you have to look for that person, or it might be an accident that you ran into this person and they just say, can we go to lunch? And then as you're at lunch, they're talking and you're like, hey, I'm getting some here. So yes and no. You can look for a mentor and then it might just drop in your lap. So you never know.
People the least expected people, the ones, the quiet people that are in the church. Quiet people, they are observant. Oh my
Yes,
goodness, they
yes,
are observant.
yes.
I have some people who I would sit down and then I have a conversation with them, and all of a sudden I'm like, wait, who are you?
Right. Where did you
Like,
come
what
from? Right,
we talk
right.
all this time? Why didn't we talk? You know, I would agree. You probably like, girls,
No, it's okay.
words. So this is
Okay,
throw out words out. You're
okay,
gonna
okay. Help me, Lord. Okay, okay, okay. Faithful, trusting, dressing. Woo, weakness. There's a reason why I say that. Yes, yes. It's a reason to that. Endurance, pain. It hurts sometimes. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. My gosh. You're making me emotional now. Ah, help me, Lord. Okay, okay. Yes, it hurts. I'm telling you, it hurts. But you can do it. Woo. Okay.
yes,
Let me dry my eyes. Okay, you give me emotional now. All right. Because I'm saying, Lord, with God. Okay, God. I don't understand, God. But it's a purpose.
yes,
It's a purpose.
yes.
Yes. Yes. Okay. I'll be out. I'll be out. Okay. Lord have mercy. Okay. Yes. 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 Create. Create. Yes. Yeah.
When
Yes.
it comes to being the virtuous
And
woman,
it
the
does.
woman of virtue.
It does. Because you
Yeah.
definitely have to have God and faith.
Mm,
Definitely a
yes.
purpose, which gonna bring you some pain. But you can do it because it's gonna make a legacy. You're gonna leave a legacy and people can see.
Yes.
You know, that's one thing I can say. My husband is gone on, but he left some words. He left an imprint. He left a legacy.
Yes.
So now
He
I'm
did.
building on it. Yes,
He
ma'am.
did. And let me tell you, there's not a time that, we all kind of come together and we start talking about things that we've done either in the West Coast district or even in the national that
Uh-huh.
Elder Sheffield
Yes.
such a great support to us young people. He
Yes.
was always there.
Yes, he did.
When we got to the YM conference, I turned around. Here he go, rolling up.
Yeah.
Count on any there.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yeah.
Even I was thinking about he get up to preach because when I was sending like the you,
Yes. Yes.
he get up to preach. Um, one thing about it, listen, he gonna preach
Yes.
holiness to you.
Yes.
He gonna preach heaven to you,
Yes.
and he sure gonna.
Yes. I say he knew how to take you up, bring you right here, and tell you don't go there.
My goodness, he will preach that thing to you. Preach that thing to you. Wow. I mean, he is definitely. He was. Listen, he was a true man. We all remember. We remember his legacy.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes.
See him. He's gonna show up.
Yeah. And that's what he would tell me. He'd say, tell him I'm here. I just want to support. But I'm not gonna go into service so they can
Yeah.
just do what they want to do. But tell them I'm here.
Goodness, my goodness. Sheffield, as we're wrapping up,
Yes.
do you have encouragement that you would like give to our listeners today?
Well, to all the young ladies, be true to yourself, love God, respect yourself, and he coming. If you waiting on him, he coming. Don't you go out trying to find him. You just be you.
Yeah.
Just be on the table. Just sit there, and he's coming. He's coming. He's coming. Be encouraged. He
Yes.
coming.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Thank
You
you. Thank you.
welcome. Yes.
For our listeners, thank you for tuning in to the ESCOM podcast, the Single and Kingdom Minded podcast. If this episode blessed you, please be sure to like, follow us, subscribe, whatever it is that you have to do. Connect with us on social media at Single and Kingdom Minded with Lady Sheffield. I know she does have ways to inspire you.
Oh,
Thank you all for joining us. Till next time, walk in virtue.
all right.
Oh, with that pain.
Go with the pain. Forget the purposes. Don't be so vain, but you can do it. Kingdom first, that's my